If you're in real estate, you've definitely felt it. The market isn't just cooling down, it feels like it's changing in a really fundamental way. The old ways of doing business, they're just hitting a wall. But inside this huge challenge lies a massive, and I mean massive, overlooked opportunity. So let's dive into how you can pivot from just trying to survive to actually thriving in the market of 2025. Okay, let's start with a number that kind of sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about. 4.06 million. That's the total number of homes sold in 2024. Now that might sound like a lot, but to really understand its impact, you've got to have a little context. And here's that context. We haven't seen sales numbers this low in almost 3 decades, 30 years. So this isn't just a little dip, right? It's a historic slowdown. And it confirms what so many of you are feeling out there on the ground. Your traditional sales pipeline is under some serious, serious pressure. Yeah, there's actually a name for this whole phenomenon, the Great Housing Freeze. And it's the core reason why relying only on home sales is becoming a really tough game to play. So let's dig into exactly why homeowners are staying put. This turnover rate really tells the whole story. Only 2.8% of homes actually changed hands in the first 9 months of this year. I mean, think about that for a second. For every 1,000 homes out there, only about 28 of them sold. The overwhelming majority, 97.2%, are staying right where they are. So why is everyone staying put? Well, it's a mix of factors you know all too well. You've got these high mortgage rates that are basically locking people into their current homes. Inventory is still incredibly tight, and just the overall cost barriers for anyone thinking about buying they're significant. It's really the perfect storm for a market that's just at a standstill. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When the main engine of the market just stalls out, it's easy to think all the opportunities have just dried up. But they haven't disappeared. They've just shifted somewhere else entirely. And that big shift? It's happening in the rental market. While home sales are frozen solid, rentals are more active and dynamic than ever before. For savvy agents, this isn't just a side gig anymore. It's quickly becoming the main event. The reason for this is really simple. It's all about the affordability gap. Right now, in the top 50 U.S. metros, the average mortgage payment is a staggering 38% higher than the average rent. When you're faced with a choice like that, the math becomes a no-brainer for a huge number of people. And look, this isn't just a trend in a few expensive cities on the coasts. This is a nationwide thing. In every single one of the 50 largest metro areas in the country, renting is the more affordable option. This is a massive structural shift, and it's creating a powerful tailwind for the rental market. Okay, so we've laid out the problem and we've found the opportunity. So how do you actually tap into this rental boom? Well, it's going to require a new playbook, one that's built on data, not just on gut feelings. And here's the framework. It's a simple 3-step strategy. First, you've got to shift your whole identity and become a market intelligence partner. Second, you have to laser focus on the unique opportunities inside the rental space. And third, you've got to use the right technology to make it all happen. Let's break each one down. So what does it even mean to be a market intelligence partner? It means you've got to move beyond just general comments about the market. It's about being able to answer your clients' toughest questions with hard numbers. Questions like, is now the right time for me to raise my rents? Or what kind of premium can I get for a 14-month lease instead of a 12-month one? That's where data gives you the answers. Next up, let's target those specific opportunities. Now, you might see that the national vacancy rate has ticked up to 6.9% and think, oh, that's not great. But look closer. Even with that, the median rent for a 2-bedroom is still up 3.2% year over year. And here's the crucial point. The rental market just transacts way more frequently, which gives you so many more touch points to provide value and build those client relationships. And finally, step 3. Honestly, none of this is possible without deploying the right tools. We're talking about technology that gives you neighborhood-level rent comps, that can analyze lease turnover patterns, and can even help you predict future demand. These are the tools that let you take all that raw data and weave it into a really compelling, actionable story for your clients. All right, so all that sounds good in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a quick example of an agent who really made that shift from just being a transactional agent to becoming a trusted advisor. So here's the scenario. We've got a landlord with a 4-unit building. Instead of just taking some pictures and listing the units, this agent dove into the data. They found that single-family rental prices in that specific zip code were up 4.4%. They saw that tenant demand was shifting towards bigger 3-bedroom units. And they noticed that longer, 14-month leases were becoming the new normal in that area. So armed with all that intelligence, the agent's recommendations became super strategic and super specific. They didn't just say, hey, let's list it. They said, okay, let's move 2 of these units to 14-month leases to reduce our turnover. Let's actually upgrade this one unit to attract that premium tenant we know is out there. And let's adjust the pricing on the last one based on these real-time comps. See the difference? It's night and day. And the result of all this? A complete transformation of the relationship. The owner doesn't see a transactional vendor they call once a year anymore. Now they see a strategic partner in their business. This is how you build a business on recurring revenue, on referrals, and on rock-solid credibility. At the end of the day, what this all points to is a fundamental redefinition of your role. This market freeze, it isn't some temporary blip. It's actually accelerating a change that was probably already coming. The future of this profession is, without a doubt, strategic. I mean, the evolution couldn't be clearer. The past was all about being a transactional vendor, running on gut feelings, focusing on that one-off sale. But the future is about being a strategic advisor. It's about being data-driven, focused on building recurring business, and providing genuine, can't-live-without-it guidance. There is absolutely no doubt that the market has profoundly changed. The only real question left to ask yourself is, have you?